Hello you guys, my name is Crystal and thank you all for tuning in to Chris Codes. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know you want to, and it's free. Notification bell so you be notified whenever I drop new content. Comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's get right into the video. And if you want to see this look, stay tuned throughout the video. Thank you guys, and let's get into it. It's a bit late, but you know I had to get a video in, so let's get right into the topic. So the pandemic is seemingly coming to an end. Not necessarily, but it seems to be getting better. Things are opening up and whatnot. Now, one thing I will say is that places are still hiring like crazy. Everywhere you look, it's a now hiring sign, open interviews. Everyone is short-staffed. And it makes you wonder, okay, is it that people don't want to work, or because of all the money that was coming in, PPP loans, you know what I mean, government assistance, things of that nature. And it makes you think. I was like, okay, why is everybody hiring? Why does it seem like nobody's working, nobody's employed, and all that type of stuff? And I wouldn't say nobody because the people around me are, but this is the first time I feel like I've ever seen so many places looking for people, hiring, short staff. So it got me thinking, why? You know, so the first thing that came to mind was what I was just speaking about. The second thing was that since the big C, people had enough time where they kind of tried to figure out what it is that they could do to bring more income into their household. And I've actually had this conversation with a few friends, and even some of their opinions were that people learn to live beneath their means, you know what I mean, where less was coming in, so they were able to sustain off less and basically maneuver around the fact that they weren't bringing in so much money. Now, me personally, I feel like it's a mixture of two things. I think one, it is partially due to the fact that it might have been a bit of government assistance and things of that nature, but I think it's a lot of people are finding ways to make money on their own. You know, people are straying away from the traditional job structure and regular 9 to 5. A lot of people are always worried about what other people think or how people are perceiving them and if they've achieved enough in their life. And now is like one of those perfect times to kind of figure out what it is that you want to do with your life, you know. And it's a lot of factors that take place in this process. And not only that, in just doing it wholeheartedly, not worrying about what other people are thinking, and putting your all into something that could possibly be the best thing that's ever happened to you. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to do some makeup, you know, and we're going to hopefully learn something and grow from this little conversation we're going to have today. So let's dig deep. Now, the traditional way of course, feeling complete in life is the traditional way of going to school, graduating, getting a degree, and obtaining a job in that field that you got your degree in. Now, we've seen numerous times over the years people that kind of strayed away from that and made a name for themselves and made good money, you know. They're deemed wealthy, you know, not rich, wealthy. And you kind of wonder, like, okay, how'd they do it? And of course, at the beginning stages, it's always going to be those critics. It's always going to be people that feel like, oh, they're not doing much, you know, they didn't go to school, you know, they're just trying to get rich quick, things of that nature. But a lot of times, those people that went out on a limb and did what other people were afraid to do, they reached their utmost potential and then exceeded that because of that alone. So a lot of times I feel like we got to use other people's hatred, and not even just hatred, but other people's jealousy or envy to our benefit. There's been so many times in my life where I was told what I should do and how I should do it, or what path I should take. And a lot of elders do this or push their preconceived notions on how life should go on the youth, not knowing that you're kind of like a backwards effect, you know. It's like you tell a child to do one thing, so they do another. You telling someone, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, doesn't necessarily make them feel like that's what they should do. And sometimes the child will just resent you for it. And I wanted to talk about this topic because it's like, whether you want to go to school, whether you want to have a business, whether you want a career in this, a career in that, or certificate in this or that, that's your business, you know. And you shouldn't worry about or dwell on what everybody else thinks or how everybody else feels about that. If you have a plan in motion and you feel like you know exactly, not even exactly, because we don't know the future. Only God knows the future. So if you have an idea of how you want your life to go, that's the first step. That's the first step. And then you just kind of pray for guidance. You know what I mean? You make a decision and you try and stick to that decision. And when it's time to grow or make another decision, you make another decision. But you have to have a big picture. That's why a lot of people do vision boards and things of that nature. For me, I might journal, or I might just talk it out, like kind of like I do on YouTube. Just have conversations to kind of see the big picture. The worst thing about going through your life and looking back, I feel like the worst thing would be regretting not fulfilling something because somebody told you you couldn't, or because somebody told you that's not what you should do, or that's not how it should go. Nobody knows what's best for you but you and God. Now, having intelligent people in your corner, mentors, family members that know you very well and have your best interests at heart, that's always great to have. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you got to make decisions for yourself. You can't let everybody sway you into living your life how they feel like you should live it. You got to make your own decisions. You got to strive to be the best version of yourself. And the only way to do that is to step out of your comfort zone. And step out of your comfort zone could be simply setting, like, let's say you're into art, like actually showcasing your art, posting it online. You know what I mean? It's the little things. Just stepping out on a whim. You never know where that baby step is going to lead you to. So if you never take the chance, how will you know if it will exceed or not? You don't. You don't. So at this point, you kind of got to ask yourself a question. How do you want to live your life? Do you want to be comfortable? Do you want to live with no regrets? Do you want to reach your full potential? Or do you just want to settle? let other people control you, because they clearly know better than you do. You got to make a decision. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard to trust enough in yourself to know that whether or not you succeed or not, the fact that you tried is good enough. It's hard to trust that even if this idea flops, at least I put my best foot forward. And if it doesn't, that could be the first day of your successful business, of starting your successful business. That could be the first day of you created a brand that is going to grow to be something for the books. That could be something that this generation and the next will know about. You know what I mean? You've made a name for not only yourself, but for the rest of your family, for the rest of their lives and their children's lives. Just because you stepped out on faith. We've witnessed so much in these times. It's time for us to step out on faith. So many people have not made it through this time of this season. Like, we've experienced something similar to like a plague. You know what I mean? And I've known people that didn't make it through this. God rest their soul. You were blessed enough to make it out. And yes, it's still going on, but now we have more precautions that you're able to take to continue to be safe throughout what we're going through. But I feel like these times just means that it's even more of a reason for you to get out there and do what needs to be done. And not just for you, but for your family and for people that are counting on you to be something great. You look at the celebrities and all those people, and you see how they're living their lives and all the things that they have and all the things that they possess. But why can't you have those things? See yourself capable of reaching that sort of success. Why don't you see yourself capable of obtaining that amount of money? You know what I mean? What makes you average? And the quicker we wake up and we realize that we're just as good as the next person, nobody's better than anybody, and we all possess gifts and blessings beyond measure. And once you wake up and take the time out to see those gifts that God has given you and put them to use, then you can turn your craft into something magical that you can share with the rest of the world. I did my eyebrows off camera to save some time. And I love this little soft lips chapstick. Oh, it's amazing. But yeah. So I feel like our first step into the next season of our lives is, if you don't have a journal, I have tons. Get a journal and jot down what you feel like you do well. You know what I mean? Let's say if you sing well, if you can dance, if you have the gift of gab, if you can cook, if you can sew, if you're just super creative, if you're funny. You know what I mean? And some people feel like they're not good at anything, and that's not true. So especially if you're one of those people, if you feel like you don't have a talent or you're not good at anything, this is really an exercise that you need to try and do. You should take a journal, notepad, whatever, and jot down the things that you feel like you're good at. Doesn't matter what it is, even if it's something silly. Just do that. And then, once you do that, figure out how you can turn what you're good at into something you'll enjoy doing. So whether you can dance, so it's like creating choreography or things of that nature. You got famous TikTokers, you know what I mean? Like, figure out how you can turn your gift into some form of income. Even if it doesn't start off that way. You know, a lot of people start off, you could start off just posting your dancing or your singing or whatever on YouTube, and you just never know what will come of that. So don't think of it as, oh, you know, I'm gonna quit my job tomorrow. Think of it as fun, something fun, another hobby, and you just never know what that hobby could bring you. So just let's all start with that, seeing what exactly we're good at, and we're gonna go from there. So you all, I'm gonna come back with the final look and everything. I'll be right back, and then we'll talk, and I'll give you my final message. Alright, you guys, so I'm back with the final look. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I hope you all enjoyed the look, and let's get into the final thought. Alright, you guys, so you know, this was a more serious makeup and a message, but I just feel like it was really necessary to talk about, because you know, some people don't have that motivational friend or someone that's gonna, you know, boost you up or make you feel like, you know, you're not alone in this fight to be, you know, the best version of yourself. And if I can be that person to you all, then, you know, I feel like, you know, that's a blessing, you know. So I'm willing to help in any way that I can. And, you know, I love you guys. And, you know, just remember, you know, jot down whatever you feel like your gifts are, whatever you feel like you're talented in. And then next thing, figure out how you're going to utilize them. How are you going to put them to use? You know, and then we'll reconvene and we'll pick back up on this topic on another day and make up in a message. Also, new bracelets are going to be up on the site no later than tomorrow, I'm assuming. So I haven't given them names yet, but this is the first pair. Okay, now these are for 7.5, 8 inch, even 8.5 wrists, but I will be making some for 9, 9.5, 10 inch wrists as well. But they'll be in the descriptions on my website. But these are some of the new bracelets coming. They're super cute, a great weight. I absolutely love them, you guys. I made a few for myself, so you will be seeing them in some of the Wardrobe Wednesdays, but I just want to give you all a sneak peek since you are tuning in. They're super cute, you guys. So yeah, those will be uploaded on the site no later than tomorrow. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you made it this far, go ahead and hit that like button, because you know you want to. and it's free. Notification bell so you be notified whenever I drop new content. Comment, subscribe, and yeah, love you guys. See y'all later. Bye. Oh, yeah.